Good morning to all. In previous class, we discussed about the characteristics of living organisms, mostly animals, about the structural organization, movement or locomotion, and metabolism. ये सब character विषय में पढ़े. Today, I am going to discuss about the other characters of living organisms, mostly animals. The next character, which is irritability. Irritability, simply I am going to response to stimuli. Response to stimuli, that is called irritability. Stimuli in plural form, in singular form, that is called stimulus. The different organs of our body, receive different types of stimuli or messages from surrounding environment and show response in a characteristic manner. This is known as irritability. We previously known, in case of animals, we found 5 sense organs like eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. Those 5 sense organs receive different types of stimuli from surrounding environment and show response. For example, our eye receives light message. So eye is the receptor, commonly called as a photoreceptor. So eye receives light message for vision, that is the response. Ear receives sound message for hearing, that is the response. So the sense organs of our body receive different types of stimuli from surrounding environment and show response. वर्तमान पिला मन रख हम जानिए सिंपली रेस्पॉन्स टू स्टिमुली, दैट इज कॉल्ड इरिटेबिलिटी. बट इन केस ऑफ प्लांट्स मन केस रे हम कोन से रेस्पॉन्स हम पाइबा नाही. मोस्टली इन एनिमल्स केस रे हम पाइबा रेस्पॉन्स. वर्तमान तमो जो सेंस ऑर्गन्स म कहूसी, सेंस ऑर्गन्स बा ओडिया कहता है इंद्रिय, अबाउट 5 सेंस ऑर्गन्स तले पंच इंद्रिय. तले ई सेंस ऑर्गन्स मानकर रहिछि जूलॉजिकल टर्म्स बा साइंटिफिक टर्म्स बा मेडिकल टर्म्स. से विषय तो मु कहूछि बा ब्लैक बोर्ड रे लिखि दउछि, तमे ताको पॉइंट आउट करि परिबो. फर्स्ट, that is the eye, which is called as the ophthalmic organ. Ophthalmic organ, and also called visual organ. Ophthalmic organ and also called visual organ. So eye, that is the ophthalmic organ or visual organ, that is the scientific term or zoological term or medical term, and also commonly called as a photoreceptor. जे एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट रो किसी मैसेज रिसीव करिवो सेला रिसेप्टर. फोटो मींस लाइट. आई रिसीव्स लाइट मैसेज फॉर विजन, सो आई इज कॉमनली कॉल्ड एज photoreceptor. Ear, that is the scientific term auditory, auditory organ. Also commonly called as phonoreceptor. Commonly called as phonoreceptor. Phono means sound. Ear receives sound message for hearing, that is the response. So commonly called as phonoreceptor. Nose, commonly scientifically called olfactory receptor. Olfactory receptor. It helps in olfaction. Olfaction means detection of the smell. Tongue, that is the gustatory receptor, which help in detection, but to detect the food, but to detect the taste of food. Skin or integument. Skin or integument, that is scientifically called or zoologically called tactile receptor. Tactile receptor. So these are the scientific terms of different sense organs of animals. Okay. So now these sense organs receive different types of stimuli from surrounding environment and so response. So simply response to stimuli, that is called irritability. Response to stimuli, that is called irritability. Then we discuss about the next character, nutrition. ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହୁଛେ ପୋଷଣ, nutrition. Animals ingest nutrients and also digest it and also assimilate it and ingest the unwanted matters. तो से विषय में डिस्कस करूचे तले हम कहूचे न्यूट्रिशन जहाँ ओडिया रे हम कहूचे पोषण. तमे स्कूल रे जानिछ पोषण कोन जा आवश्यक खाद्य ग्रहण शरीर भितर तार परिपाक अवशोषण और आत्मीकरण अव्यवहृत खाद्यर बहिष्करण प्रक्रिया को सामूहिक भाव में कहि परिबा पोषण. सो न्यूट्रिशन इन्वॉल्व्स 5 processes. 5 processes. So what are the 5 processes under nutrition? Now one is ingestion, second one digestion, third one absorption, fourth one assimilation, fifth one ingestion. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, ingestion. So these are the 5 processes. खाद्य ग्रहण करने प्रक्रिया, खाद्यर परिपाक व हजम, absorption जब हम जो अवशोषण, आत्मीकरण और बहिष्करण, ये जो प्रक्रिया को मिसिंग करने को इकरीवा न्यूट्रिशन. So simply ingestion, that is the intake of food. Intake of food, which is called ingestion. Food which is biologically called diet. Food is biologically or scientifically called diet. So खाद्य ग्रहण करने प्रक्रिया, that is called ingestion. So animals ingest, mostly multicellular animals, ingest the food or diet through mouth. If a question arises, what is mouth? Now mouth is an opening. Mouth is an opening which is bounded by 2 lips. 2 lips, L-I-P-S. So mouth is an opening through which animals can ingest or intake the food or diet. The next process, that is the digestion. Digestion means the simplification of complex food. Simplification of complex food. ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିପାରିବା ଜଟିଳ ଖାଦ୍ୟର ସରଳୀକରଣ ପ୍ରକ୍ରିୟା. That is the simplification of complex food, which is called digestion. Well, which food materials are called complex? Now we previously known about 6 components of the food or diet. That is carbohydrate, protein, lipid, vitamin, mineral and water. From these 6 components of the diet, 3 are complex and 3 are simple. So what are the simple components? Now vitamins, minerals and water. These are the simple food components. But carbohydrate, protein and lipid, these are the complex food components. So एमानकु कहीं complex कहवा एमानकु कहीं हम simple कहवा. Now हम जानी से in case of animals, mostly the digestion which occurs inside the lumen or cavity of the digestive tube. The digestive tube, which is scientifically called or zoologically called as alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. So inside the alimentary canal, the digestion takes place. Mostly, the digested food or the simplified food, which is absorbed into the blood circulation. So mostly, carbohydrate, protein and lipid, those are simplified inside the lumen or cavity of the alimentary canal. And then the simple form of those complex food materials are absorbed into the blood circulation. But vitamins, minerals and water, without any simplification, are directly absorbed into the blood circulation. So, vitamins, minerals and water are the simple food components, but carbohydrate, protein and lipid, these are the complex food components. Mostly, the simple sugar, like monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, galactose, but these are the simple sugars, but simple carbohydrates, but monosaccharides containing one sugar molecule. Amino acid, that is the simple form of protein. Amino acids, a number of amino acids are linked to each other by a bond called peptide bond to form a protein molecule. But to form a polypeptide chain of amino acids or protein molecule. Fatty acids and glycerol together constitute a lipid molecule. Mainly 3 fatty acid molecules and 1 glycerol molecule are linked with each other to form a lipid molecule. So simply we know carbohydrate, protein and lipid, these are the complex, vitamins, minerals and water, these are the simple components. So mostly inside our digestive tube or alimentary canal, the complex food materials are simplified and then the simple food components are absorbed. Simple food components are absorbed into the blood circulation. Through blood circulation, the simple food materials are transported to the different cells or tissues of the body for the purpose of assimilation. The simple food components in different cells are converted into the protoplasm. You previously known protoplasm, that is the physical basis of life. Protoplasm, which is surrounded by a cell membrane. So here, the simple food components are converted into the protoplasm of the cell. The process is called assimilation. For while the simple food components inside the cell are oxidized to produce energy, and the simple food components also help in the growth of cells or tissues or organs. The last process is the digestion. Inside the alimentary canal or digestive tube, after simplification, the simple digested matters are absorbed into the blood circulation, but the undigested or unwanted matters which are eliminated from the digestive tube or alimentary canal to the exterior. The process is called digestion. We know alimentary canal with 2 openings. One opening that is called mouth and another opening that is called anus. These 2 openings are the separate openings, these two openings are present at the opposite end of the alimentary canal. The alimentary canal ro opposite end ame paiba these two openings, one is mouth, another is anus. Mouth for ingestion of food and anus for ingestion of waste matters, by ingestion of unwanted or undigested matters. Okay. In different animals, we found different food habits. In different animals, we found different food habits. सब एनिमल्स मान क्षेत्र में आम समान खाद्य आम पाइबा नहीं. According to the nature of food and food habits, animals are classified into different varieties. Some animals are called herbivores. Herbivores, but herbivorous animal. Vorous, which means feeding. तले जो एनिमल्स माने खाद्य मुख्यतः हर्ब बा प्लांट मैटर्स ग्रहण करूछते से मन का हर्बिवोरस बा ओडिया रे कहउछे तृणभोजी प्राणी बोली हम कहबे. फॉर एग्जांपल sheep, goat, cow, those are the herbivorous animals. Carnivorous, carnivores, carnivorous animals बा carnivores जा कोरिया रे कहउछे मांसासी. मांसासी प्राणी जो एनिमल्स माने मुख्यतः एनिमल्स फ्लेश खाउछन्ती एज चीप फूड तमन भी हम कहबा कार्निवोर्स. यू ऑलरेडी नो टाइगर, लायन, जैकल, दोज आर द कार्निवोर्स. ओमनिवोर्स बा ओमनिवोरस, ओमनिवोर्स बा ओमनिवोरस एनिमल्स जहाँ को ओडिया रे हम कहछे सर्वाहारी. जो एनिमल्स माने बहुत प्लांट मैटर और एनिमल मैटर को खाद्य हिसाब ग्रहण करूछन्ते दोज आर कॉल्ड ओमनिवोर्स. फॉर एग्जांपल मैन. सैंग्विवोरस, तो सैंग्विवोर्स व सैंग्विवोरस एनिमल्स मुख्यतः किसी अछन्ते हमर एनिमल्स ताकर मुख्य खाद्य होछि कोना ब्लड मिल. ब्लड मिल. फॉर एग्जांपल some insects like mosquitoes, mosquitoes बा मुझे हमर लीच जोक जा कोडिया कुछ जोक बा लीच दोज आर सैंग्विवोरस कारण से मानकर मुख्य खाद्य होछि कोना ब्लड. फ्रुगिवोरस or frugivores. Some animals are called frugivores. तब से फॉर्मेट जाए पर कि वो the fruit eating animals. For example, monkey. तो हमारा insectivores व insectivorous animals. जो animals मान मुख्य खाद्य होचे कोना insects. For example, हमारा frog, lizards, some sort of insectivores. तो हमारा detritivores. Some animals they intake dead and decay matters as food. Dead and decay, मृत पचा सड़ा. Those are called detritivores. Some animals and also some birds are also detritivores. So according to the nature of food and also food habit, so animals are classified into different varieties. Okay. In the nutrition chapter totally we discuss about the digestive system of man. So we details janibo. But if we about the character which is called nutrition. Next character of living organisms, but animals together, about respiration. Respiration, हम जहाँ को ओडिया रे कहूचे शोषण. शोषण प्रक्रिया, that is the respiration process. So what is respiration? Respiration is an energy liberating process. Respiration is an energy liberating process. Liberate means release. The energy which is liberated from food by oxidation process. ताले खाद्य जारण बा दहन होइकि खाद्यर शक्ति उत्पन्न होबा प्रक्रिया को हम कहबा शोषण। अब टर्म माने पिला माने जानो टर्म होछि ब्रीदिंग। ब्रीदिंग जहाँ को हम ओडिया कहि परिबा श्वास क्रिया। ब्रीदिंग का ओडिया कहै श्वास क्रिया। ब्रीदिंग includes two processes. One is inspiration or inhalation, and expiration or exhalation by exhalation. So one is inspiration जहाँ को ओडिया में कहै प्रश्वास और एक्सपिरेशन जहाँ को ओडिया में कहै निश्वास। Inspiration, that is the intake of oxygen, or expiration, that is the release or outtake of carbon dioxide. These two processes are together called as breathing. So one of the mukhyato inspiration leads to respiration. Because mostly in case of animals, without oxygen, no respiration. Kintu in case of some animals, we found the respiration process without oxygen. The respiration process which occurs mukhyato inside the cells. Se visram details janiba. Teri jo respiration jaha ko hame dui bhagre vibhakta kari pariba. That is amar aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Then हमको से depending upon the availability of oxygen, respiration can be classified into two types. One is aerobic, another is anaerobic. In the higher plants and higher animals, we found the aerobic respiration. For example, glucose, the formula is C6H12O6. That is a carbohydrate which is the simple carbohydrate or simple sugar, which is called glucose. Which is oxidized in the presence of oxygen molecule to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. That is the aerobic reaction. Aerobic respiration case, if the energy is released from food, in the presence of oxygen, that is called aerobic respiration. If we equalize the reactant and product side, we count the number of elements. वर्तमान मो इक्वलाइज कर देली ए इक्वेशन को बा बैलेंस द इक्वेशन इन रिएक्टेंट साइड, दिस द रिएक्टेंट साइड, दिस द प्रोडक्ट साइड. In reactant side we found 6 number of carbon, here 6 number of carbon, 12 number of hydrogen, here 6 into 2, 12 number of hydrogen. Oxygen, that is 6 into 2, 12, 12 plus 6, that is 18. Here you look, 6 into 2, 12, 12 plus 6, 18. तले हमने ये 6 कार्बन, 12 हाइड्रोजन और 18 ऑक्सीजन on reactant side और product side में होता है. This is the balancing of the equation. So this is the example of aerobic respiration which is found in case of higher plants and animals. Now we will discuss about anaerobic respiration. respiration and if the energy is produced but if the energy is liberated from food without oxygen, which is called anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration, which is equal to fermentation, which is equal to fermentation. So fermentation, that is of two types. One is alcoholic fermentation, another is lactic acid fermentation. One is alcoholic fermentation, another is lactic acid fermentation. These two processes come equal to anaerobic respiration. Alcoholic fermentation, which is found in case of our fungi like yeast. Yeast case alcoholic fermentation. Mainly the alcoholic industries, they culture the yeast for the production of ethyl alcohol or ethanol, which is the main constituent of alcoholic drinks. So in alcoholic fermentation, what equation mo likhu what reaction likhu je pila mane dekho. Glucose and the C6 S12 O6. In case of yeast, we found the alcoholic fermentation. In product side, I am called by now ethyl alcohol or ethanol, that is C2H5OH plus carbon dioxide plus energy. Energy, which is about 2 ATP molecules. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. We previously known the energy which is produced inside the cell, that is stored in the mitochondria of the cell in the form of ATP. That कोष भितर जो हमर शक्ति उत्पादन होची से एटीपी फॉर्म रे कोष रे अछि ओटा ऑर्गेनेल दैट इज कॉल्ड माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया से दैट स्टोरिंग होची. तले हम जानिले ये 2 ATP molecules produced from one molecule of glucose and the byproducts that is the ethyl alcohol, ethanol and carbon dioxide. So mukhya yeast derive the energy from glucose along with the byproducts that is ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. This is the alcoholic fermentation. And there is lactic acid fermentation. So lactic acid fermentation. So lactic acid fermentation, which is found in case of a bacteria like lactobacillus bacteria. Lactobacillus bacteria. Lactobacillus bacteria derive the energy from glucose. Energy production presto, here we found lactic acid as a byproduct. C3H6O3. That is the lactic acid. Here we found 2 molecules of lactic acid. 2 molecules of lactic acid. It is the lactic acid molecules also from 1 molecule of glucose as a byproduct. Our byproduct 2 ATP molecules. Lactobacillus bacteria derive the energy from glucose. Here we found the waste product or byproduct BY. Byproduct, that is the lactic acid, but 2 molecules of lactic acid. So anaerobic respiration, that is otherwise called fermentation, by equal to fermentation. Fermentation, it may be alcoholic or lactic acid. Okay. So this is about a literal idea about respiration. Thanks to all.